So you're thinking about buying a home in Washington, D.C., and your budget is in the $300,000 price range. Now, is that even possible? Well, today we're going to find out. We're going to be looking at 3 different properties of 3 different styles in 3 different neighborhoods, all in the $300,000 price range. And we're getting after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn every single thing about living in the Washington, D.C. metro area and D.C. real estate, you've come to the right place. My name is Bashir, and our team gets calls, emails, texts, Zoom calls every single day from folks just like you looking to buy real estate in the Washington, D.C. metro area. So whether you're planning to do that in the next 30, 60, 90, 100, even if it's 2 years, feel free to give us a call, text, or email. All contact details are below in the description. Now, there's an inside joke in DC that everybody wants $1 million for their property, right? And of course, it's an inside joke because, not gonna lie to you, DC is quite an expensive place to live. From the cost of goods, services, real estate, it's quite pricey, right? The average cost of a home in this area in DC proper, not considering the suburbs, is $650,000, right? That's above the national average of around $400K. So pretty expensive place to live, and I'm doing this video to showcase that you can definitely get your feet wet in the DC real estate scene for under that price point, right? As low as $300,000. Now, $300K is not going to get you a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet. We're not in Texas, we're not in Ohio, we're not in, wherever, right? And no shade to those places. I'm just comparing and contrasting the average points over there, supposedly compared to DC. I'm doing this video to showcase what 300K can get you. Not gonna get you a whole lot, but it can definitely get you started in real estate because we all have to start from somewhere. So the first neighborhood we're gonna be looking at is Forest Hill / Van Ness. It's located in the northwest quadrant of Washington, DC, right off Connecticut Avenue. Excellent location. There are lots of amenities on Connecticut Avenue. We have the Giant. The University of the District of Columbia is right there on Connecticut Avenue. Giant is a grocery food store, by the way. Right down the street from the zoo, there's a Gold's Gym on Connecticut Avenue. It's right by the metro. I mean, when you talk about an amazing neighborhood, Van Ness is it, right? Very walkable, tons of amenities, and everything is within walking distance. As a matter of fact, in this building, which we're going to be taking a look at, you can actually take the elevator down into the grocery store. So let's talk about the unit itself. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 768 square foot condo priced at $312,000. Lots of amenities. There's a swimming pool and there are other amenities in the building. So enough talking. Let's go check out the unit. So before we go inside, let me just show you the amenities since we're already outside. So over here is I think this is a dog park, right? And then over here is the swimming pool. This is a large pool. So let's walk down and let me show you what the pool looks like. So the pool is locked. I think they're cleaning it. Couldn't get in there, but this should give you a good idea. Pretty large pool. You got the seating area. You have lifeguards on duty. So let's go check out the unit. Okay, so this is the unit. So right as we walk in, we have the parquet floors, very spacious coat closet at the entrance. Spacious living room. We got those large windows that allow for a lot of natural light. We have the dining area. Smells like fresh paint in here, so seems like they've recently updated this unit. We got another closet right here, and we've got the kitchen. Got the gas stove, marble countertops. Got a dishwasher. Everything in here looks clean. Let's head to the bedroom. Lots of closet space. Look at all that closet space. You've got additional shelving at the top. Man, if this closet space is not enough for you, might need to donate some of those clothes so we get views of the exterior. So pretty decent sized room. I think this is a king size bed. We've got an additional closet right here also. I guess that's where you store your towels and bathroom stuff. And then we have the bathroom. Really clean bathroom, so. So there you have it. This is what you can expect to get in the Van Ness neighborhood for $312,000, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, pretty spacious condo. If you ask me, that's in great condition. I want to touch on two things real quick. So the first thing I want to touch on is the pros and cons of a unit like this, right? So this is what I know that buyers are going to be paying attention to, a couple of things that's going to draw them in, and a couple of things that might be drawbacks. So we'll talk about that first, and also I'm going to touch on the numbers. So if you bought a condo like this at this price point, what is that mortgage going to look like? So let's start off with the pros and cons. Now, the location to me is the first pro. Not even, let's forget about the building for a second, but just the location. Van Ness, located right off Connecticut Avenue. Connecticut Avenue is just, I mean, it's a walker's paradise, right? You can walk to everything. In a neighborhood like this, you really don't need a car, right? Because two things. One, this unit comes with a parking spot, a garage parking space, which is a plus. And two, things like your grocery runs, there's a giant food store underneath this building. So you can just take the elevator down and go get your groceries and come back up. There's just no beating that. So those are the first couple of things. Now, all utilities are included in the HOA fees, right? So except for cable and internet, you have to pay your own cable and internet bills separately, but all other utilities are included. And that HOA fee, I'm going to go over what the amount is in a second, but it includes things like, and I'm just going to read off the sheet here, a 24/7 concierge desk, concierge services, on-site management, the laundry room, fitness centers, 2 outdoor pools, bike room. They have extra storage for this unit. AC, electricity, pest control, trash, water, gas, heat. I mean, it goes on. Reserve funds, right? Because every condominium building, they have to have funds in reserve in case anything goes wrong with the structure or management of the building. They have those funds available to cover that, and the residents are not charged. And last but not least, the UDC Van Ness metro station is just 2 blocks away. UDC stands for University of the District of Columbia. Right? 2 blocks away. Can't beat that. Now let's talk about the cons. The first thing that comes to mind is they don't allow dogs. They only allow cats. The reason for that, couldn't tell you. I don't know. That's just what the rules are, which is quite unfortunate because, you know, a lot of people have dogs, and I don't know if something happened in the past with dogs, why they made that rule, but it's unfortunate. So that might be the first thing. Now, if you don't have animals or if you had cats, you could care less. You could move into this building with ease. The second con is the HOA fee amount is $975 per month, which is quite steep. And that's really a popular trend in this neighborhood. A lot of these condominium buildings, the HOA fees tend to be on the higher side. And for this building, I can see why it's on the higher side, because you have all these amenities that you're paying for, like this pool and the fitness center and 24/7 front desk, the bike room, the storage, all the extra utilities. But hey, if you don't mind paying that extra $900 a month, hey, this might be the perfect spot for you. If not, I would, recommend looking at a different building in this neighborhood or another neighborhood close by that doesn't have such a steep monthly HOA fee, because that gets tacked on to your monthly mortgage, which of course increases your payment. Now, let's talk about the numbers. What is your mortgage going to look like if you bought this unit? So let's start off at the purchase price. So the purchase price is $312,000. Now, anytime you're going to buy a house or a condo, any type of real estate, residential real estate, the minimum amount you're required to put down is 3%, right? You don't have to put down 20%. You don't have to put down 10. That's a myth. So at the $312,000 price point, 3% is going to be $9,375. Now you have an additional expense of 4% of the purchase price, which is called your closing costs. These are just all the fees associated with buying real estate. So that's going to run you on average around 4% of the purchase price. So if we have 3% down for your down payment, which is $9,375, and 4% of the purchase price for closing costs, which is going to be $12,500, to get into a condo like this, you're going to have to come up with $21,875. Now, let's talk about those closing costs. It doesn't mean that the closing costs have to be paid by you. There are many different strategies to get the closing costs covered by the seller of the property. I can definitely tell you we've had instances where negotiated that the seller of the property pays some, if not all, of the closing costs for our buyer clients. And if you're a first-time home buyer in DC, there are many down payment assistance programs that you can take advantage of that would fund your down payment. So you can definitely contact me if you wanted to learn more about those programs. So that's how much cash is going to be required. Now let's talk about the monthly payment. So your mortgage consists of 4 things: your principal, insurance, taxes, and your homeowner's insurance. But in this case, since it's a condo, we cannot forget about that steep $975 per month HOA fee. So at a 6.5% interest rate, your monthly mortgage is going to be around $3,211. Now, interest rates are a little bit on the high side right now as I make this video. That's mainly what contributes to the higher monthly payment. Now, interest rates, they're projected to come down. I don't see it coming down anytime in the next couple of months, maybe within the next 12 to 18 months. So if the rates go from 6.5 to maybe a 5.5, that's going to bring that payment down into the, mid to high 2000s. So I hope that was insightful. I'll catch you in the next neighborhood at the next property. So we're in neighborhood number 2, looking at condo number 2. We're in the northeast quadrant of DC. Geez, the sun came out. We're in the northeast quadrant of DC in Trinidad / Carver Langston. It's a neighborhood that's adjacent to 8th Street. Street Corridor, that's where you find all the amenities. So all the restaurants, bars, there's a bunch of gyms, grocery stores, stuff like that. I've done a full breakdown of the H Street Corridor. If you're interested in that, you can click the link above to watch that full video. So let's talk about the property we're gonna be looking at. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 850 square foot condo. So we're going up in size and also in price, but it's still within the $300,000 price point. So 2-bed, 2-bath unit priced at $369,000. Now this is an all brick building, as you can see, that was built in 2024. Now the HOA fees on this are much lower. They're only in the $200 a month range. So that's gonna do a great deal of keeping that mortgage somewhat reasonable and lower than the other property that we looked at previously. So let's go inside, take a look at the unit, and then we'll talk about some numbers. So there are 16 units in this building. We're going to be taking a look at this one on the first level. So as you walk in, there's a bathroom to the right. So this is all new construction. We have this is the utility closet, the water heater. You've got the kitchen area right here. You've got a gas stove, dishwasher, quartz countertops. Got the refrigerator. And then we have a balcony right here. This is bedroom number 1 with the barn doors. Lots of sunlight. Got a closet right there. And then bedroom number 2 is across the hall. I think this one is the bigger one because it has a bathroom. So they have a stand-in shower and also a tub and the his and her sink. Love the tile on the floor. And then of course, you got the toilet in the corner. You got the privacy wall. Love this tub. So this is affordable luxury, right? You don't need to spend $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 to get finishes like this. And as a matter of fact, this standing shower is quite spacious, just looking at it. Oops. So shower or bath, whatever fits your mood that day, you've got options. And we've got this balcony, and then all this wooded area is actually the National Arboretum. So the National Arboretum is on New York Avenue. It's close by. It is, you know, how do I describe this? It's basically outdoor space, right? It's a huge, I don't know off the top of my head what the acreage is, but you can just go out there. They usually have events. I mean, think of it as like a park, but like 10 parks on one piece of property. It's a huge infrastructure, outdoor space. It's free. It's open from 8 to 5, except I think Christmas. So that's also one of the perks of the neighborhood, right? So all the wooded area right there, that's all the National Arboretum. Now, of course, you can't get access from here because it's fenced off. You would have to go on the entrance in New York Avenue. So let's break down some numbers.
Okay, so let's deep dive into everyone's favorite, the numbers. Let's talk about what you can expect to pay on a monthly mortgage and how much cash you would have to come up with to buy this condo at $369,000. So again, your 2 major expenses are going to be your down payment and closing costs. The minimum down payment needed, 3%, So for this price point is going to be $11,097 and 4% on average for closing costs. That's going to be $14,796. So if you add that up, you're looking at about $25,893 to purchase this unit. Now let's look at the monthly payment side of things. So we're just going to go with the average interest rate as of today in 2024, which is a 6.5% interest rate. Your principal is going to be $2,268. Mortgage insurance is estimated $224. Homeowners insurance estimated $74. Taxes estimated $342 a month. And finally, the HOA fee, the low HOA fee of $213 a month. If you add that all up, you're looking at roughly $31.21 for a monthly mortgage at this price point. Now, there's so many other factors that can trigger that payment to go either up or down. I'll give you two examples. One, if you were to put more money down, if you were to put 10 or 15 or 20%, that mortgage is going to come down into the 2000s. Also, if the interest rates were to go down or to go up, that's also going to affect the monthly payment. And lastly, it depends on what kind of loan you're using. If you served in the military, the Army, the Navy, whatever it is, you're entitled to a VA loan. And if you're a VA buyer, you don't pay any monthly mortgage insurance. So basically what that is, if you're buying a home and you do not put down 20%, the lenders charge you a monthly fee called your mortgage insurance. Now, if you're using a VA loan, that monthly cost gets wiped away and your mortgage is going to be significantly less than, just a regular buyer. And also being a VA buyer, you guys receive lower interest rates. So many factors that goes into that monthly payment, depending on how your purchase is going to be structured, it could vary. So these are just estimates. I don't want you guys to take this as, if I'm buying a $369,000 home or condo, my mortgage is going to be exactly $31.21. It could be more, it could be 27, it could be 28. So it just depends. Now let's talk about what's included in that HOA fee for this building and why is it significantly lower than the other property that we looked at. Two things. The first thing is, there are no amenities in this building. So all we have is just the units and, I forgot to mention, there's also parking available with these units. So there are no amenities, there's no front desk, there's no pool, there's no bike storage, there's no extra storage, there's none of that. So the overhead for this building is significantly low. They don't have staff to pay because this is a self-managed building. There's no one on staff here, right? So that's why the HOA fee is only roughly $200 a month. Now, the only utilities covered in that $200 a month is the gas and water. I think owners will be responsible for electricity and cable and internet. So let me quickly address a question that I get all the time from clients is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to buy a condo with the high interest rates, the economy, and all these varying factors, right? And people are, wondering how they should attack purchasing real estate, especially in the DC area. It depends. So there's no one size fits all answer to that question. For some folks, it might be a good time to buy. For others, it might not be. It just depends on a couple things. So your personal financial situation, your personal life situation. Also, it depends on where you're looking to buy. What kind of asset are you looking to buy, right? I'll give you an example. The condo market in DC, ever since COVID, it took a little bit of a hit. Well, I wouldn't call it a hit. I would say a softening, and it's been slower than usual, right? Slower than pre-pandemic. And that's because a lot of people who are living in condos in DC were living here because of close proximity to work. But when COVID happened, a lot of these, people, young families, they started moving out to the suburbs because they didn't have to be in the office anymore. So the demand for condos, it slowed down a lot, but it's starting to make a gradual comeback because a lot of people are going back into the office now. And I think this is the case in any major city across the US. So if you were looking to buy a condo, I know personally, I've helped clients snag great deals on condos. Now, I don't want to make it seem like it's the Wild West out here and people are just giving away their condos and condos are selling for half price off. Not the case. DC still remains a competitive market place. However, different segments of the market, like the condo market, 1 and 2 bedrooms, they've seen a little bit of a slowdown. We could even use this condo as an example. Their starting price was $435 and it sat on the market for a few months. Nothing wrong with the condo. It's an amazing building, right? In a growing location. It's just the demand isn't there like it once was. So that works in the benefit of buyers because you're able to pay a lower price for these condos. So with that being said, there's still other factors to consider if now is a good time to buy for you personally. Too much to go in depth on in this video specifically, but if you wanted to have a conversation about that just to see if it's the right time for you
or not, feel free to contact me through any method with all my contact details in the description below. So let's check out the neighborhood, just drive around for a little bit, and I'll see you at the next neighborhood. Okay, so we're at the final property number 3 in neighborhood number 3, still within that $300,000 price range. The only difference is we're looking at a single family home, a semi-detached row house in the neighborhood of Deanwood, still in the northeast quadrant of DC. So just to give you a little bit of context for Deanwood. So Deanwood is quite different from the first 2 neighborhoods we looked at. Not as walkable. A lot of the residences here are going to be single family homes and row houses, right? So this is one of the few parts of DC where you can actually get a row house for under 400K. I think it kind of bottoms out at 360K. Anything in this neighborhood under 350, 360, probably going to be a fixer upper that you're going to have to put a decent amount of work into, right? So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1,200 square feet. It's been fully renovated. So yeah, Deanwood isn't the most walkable neighborhoods. It's a neighborhood that you might come to if you're looking for a starter home in DC that's not going to cost you around the average price of $650. So you might have to drive to your conveniences like grocery stores, things like that. But there's a metro close by. We're only a mile away from the Deanwood Metro for public transportation. So let's go check out the property. Okay, so as we walk in, we walk straight into the living room. So even though this is a row house, there are no HOA fees here. So the only thing you're paying is your mortgage, right? And of course, utilities. So this is what I like to call your typical DC starter home, right? This is your living area. We've got the kitchen, little cute kitchen, the gas stove. And then you have views of the entire city from this window. That's your yard. Not the most functional of backyards because as you can see, it slopes all the way down, but hey. Got a pantry. So we got this deck back there if I can open it. There's the side yard. And you can just see all the views. Check out the basement. So it's a 3-level home. This is just the utility closet. It's the washer and dryer area. The hookups are right there. And these are LVP floors, luxury vinyl plank. I know they look like hardwood, but they're not hardwood floors. here. Got another closet. And we've got a full, is it a full? I think it is, yep, full bathroom. The sink and the toilet. We've got a door that leads to the yard. So this is a 2-bedroom house, but this space down here could be used as an extra bedroom because it's got a closet. You know, if you had guests over, you'll definitely have somewhere to stay. So let's go upstairs. So we've got really high ceilings in these properties, or in this property, sorry. Look at that. So it's a small, cute home, but the space has been well utilized. We've got the bathroom. I like that window just for, you know, extra light, so it doesn't look like a dungeon in here. Got the high ceilings. This is bedroom number 1. Again, you get the view of the entire city. I mean, not the entire city, but. So, again, we have the high ceilings, the storage space up there, and a reasonably sized closet. I've seen non-starter homes that have smaller closets than that. Bedroom number 2, another decent sized closet. Okay, so let's talk about some numbers. So this property, like I mentioned earlier, no HOA fees. So let's see what that mortgage looks like. So if we have 3% for down payment, 4% for closing costs, that puts us at $27,300 is the amount you're gonna need to get into this home. At a 6.5% interest rate, principal, insurance, taxes, we're at a total of $28.93 per month to get into this home at $390,000. Now, as you can see, the cost of this home, the price is more than all the other properties we've looked at, but the mortgage is less. And that's because with this house, there are no HOA fees. So that's something you have to keep in mind when you're buying a condo, are the HOA fees and how that increases your monthly payment. Now let's talk about the house itself. So cute starter house. It's not for everyone. It doesn't have a ton of space, but if you're someone who is considering starting out your real estate journey, you have a smaller budget and you just wanted to get in the game, this would be the perfect house. Now, unless you were buying a single family home in this neighborhood in Deanwood, majority of the townhomes, they're roughly around this size. Some homes might have an extra bedroom or 2, but for the most part, the houses around here, they tend to be on the smaller side, at least the row houses. That wraps up our tour for today of what you can get in DC in the $300,000 range. Now, I hope you have more context as far as DC real estate goes. And now you know, if you wanted to purchase real estate in DC, you don't have to spend a fortune of $1 million. So let's take a final look of the Deanwood neighborhood and I'll catch you in the next neighborhood.